Hey, what's up, Rattlers? So we're all going through a really tough time right now with this virus and having to social distance and stay in our homes. We're all going a little stir crazy. But I gotta tell you, my friend Graham here at Hetty Herps called me up this morning and he told me that he's about to cut open a clutch of ball python eggs that could contain the world's first. So we're gonna do a little social distancing. We're gonna stay 6 feet apart from each other, but I'm over here at Graham's and we are gonna cut open this clutch of ball python eggs and see if in fact we do have a world's first in this clutch.
I'm Dāv Kaufman and I am obsessed with reptiles, so come with me and join my Reptile Adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
Alright, so you all remember Graham from previous videos. Well, today we are going to cut open a clutch of eggs that you have that could be a world's first. So tell us about the parents and tell us what we expect from those eggs.
So I got this female, and I actually originally bought her as a trick. I produced a clutch with a pinstripe and made a cool looking pinstripe trick is what I thought it was. I actually had a guy by the name of Jason telling me, it actually isn't trick at all. And, the more and more I looked at tricks, I did realize that there is a lot of difference. This doesn't look like a trick to me, but it does look like the mom. And so I figured, I'd hold back a baby male and breed it back to mom to see if there was anything, any supers or anything like that. So this boy is a scaleless head, what I think to be the scaleless head new gene that we're looking at. So that's really the base morph.
So for people that aren't familiar with genes like the trick or the new gene, kind of explain to us some of the diagnostic features that make that gene visible in this snake.
I find, with tricks, you're looking for kind of just these like kind of twirls in the alien heads. This one kind of showed that, but really what made me think it was a trick is I bought it as a trick, and it wasn't. And that the combo with pinstripe looked exactly the same as a trick pinstripe. So really you're looking at pretty dark blacks in the back, and these alien heads, they're just different. They're just in a certain uniform that we're looking at, and I'll take mom to compare.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the father. Alright, and here's mom.
So you see why, with these alien heads here, we're seeing these, we'll see these in the eggs too, but it kind of looks like a trick patterning there, so you see why I was thinking that. Pretty busy with alien heads, but again has that real nice dark back pattern. I think their bellies are actually pretty cool.
Okay, there's dad's belly and there's mom's belly. So there's subtle differences between the trick and the new gene and just a normal.
Right. I'm hoping that with like the hurricane that's similar to the trick, that does have a super form, and so I was hopeful that maybe this would throw something maybe busier, or that's really what I kind of projected, is these two would create a super or homozygous form with this gene that would be extremely busy and just whacked out.
Alright, so those are the parents, and now the clutch that we're about to cut open could have a world's first of a super form of the new gene. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Alright, let's get to cutting. Alright, so there's the clutch. We've got 6 eggs. They all look good.
We already have one pip here, so I think we're good to go. Kind of try to be easy with it. So this is actually the gene. I can tell right away, just from really the uniform that the mom and the dad have. But you see these kind of trick-like or hurricane-like patterns here on the alien heads. It's not, anything crazy. It's pretty subtle, but, hopefully it has a cool super like the hurricane does.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, on to egg number 2 here.
So this one also actually looks like the gene. This guy is the one that pipped, so I'm going to kind of cut him out a little bit. That's a big baby ball python.
Yeah, it really is.
For that egg. So that's a cool one. I think that's just a new gene. It's not all that extreme.
Okay, moving on to egg number 3.
We were looking for something that could show us signs of being a homozygous form. Man, that looks like the same single gene right here.
Yeah, it does.
But once these come out, we might be able to see if they're very extreme.
So 3 eggs cut. What do you think?
I think we're getting good odds with the new subtle gene. But I don't think that we've got a super in here yet.
So has a super been produced yet?
No.
So
this is, I'm hopeful.
yeah. So we can see a world's first come out of here.
That would be cool.
All right, let's move on to egg number 4.
This one looks actually, I mean, honestly, they all look pretty normal. This gene doesn't look extreme, but, you know, as far as odds, I'm very hopeful that these are all actually that gene. Actually,
What do we got there? That looks a little funky.
it looks a little bit cooler. It's very dark. These blacks in the pattern are very, very dark.
Awesome. All right, the final egg.
This one is very full of fluid.
Yeah.
Dude, that looks cool.
Oh yeah, look at that head. I think that's the super.
This one actually has quite a bit of blushing in the head, and man, it almost looks like there's 2 snakes in this egg. So this one kind of concerns me. It looks a little bit deformed, but very interesting. I didn't expect that coloration.
But that's the thing, you know, when you're dealing with a world's first, and especially a super that no one's ever seen before, how do you know just by cutting that you've got what you got, you know, or that you wanted to get?
It's just, when you're looking at your eggs and just kind of like generations of eggs from the same female, you just kind of get a feel for the uniform of what that animal looks like. When they're in the egg, it's always hard to tell, and you know, it's always surprising when they come out of the egg because they look totally different than when they were in the egg.
Exactly.
And you're only seeing a portion of the animal. But yeah, just really looking for the uniformity of the gene that I've been kind of playing with for the last few years here.
Right on. All right, so we'll let those guys come out of the egg on their own, and then we will show you guys what they look like when they are out. All right, Rattler, so it's a couple of days later. I came back over here. All the babies have come out of the eggs on their own, except one. All right, so here's all the babies out of this clutch. You know, they look relatively normal. So the first snake out is this guy.
You know, kind of looks like Dad. It resembles Dad. It's got the nice twirls and the alien heads here, that busy alien head pattern. Just really what I'm looking at is inside of those donuts.
Snake number 1, snake number 2.
So that looks like a normal in my opinion.
Yep, I would agree with that. Good looking normal though. Snake number 3.
This could have the darks of the darkness of the gene. It looks similar, but I'm not too positive that's it. This one looks quite a bit more that way.
Yep. Number 4 here.
That's a scaleless head.
Yeah, definitely a scaleless head.
It could carry the gene.
And then the final snake that came out of the egg on its own. Looks like a normal to me.
It's kind of what it looks like to me too. So what I would consider really potentially the new ones would be here. And then it's potential that this could be it, but it's really not looking too close to this.
Yeah.
This is really what is the best uniform of the gene out of this clutch so far.
But, all right, so again, we're talking about a new gene, and there is no name yet for this new gene.
Yeah, well, I haven't really named anything. I just want to prove it out to be something that is genetic before I start like calling it something. So it's really something that I've just been looking at and calling it's a dinker project is
Sure.
what some people say. And yeah, I've just really been looking to prove out like what is the uniformity of the single gene, and then trying to prove out a super. And if it really doesn't prove out to be anything special or with a homozygous form, and it kind of just does this whole kind of lay thing with the combinations with pinstripe looking kind of like a trick, then you know maybe there isn't something to go into further. But at this point, I think that there's a couple years to explore a little bit more.
Sure, absolutely. Well, you know, that's the importance of working with dinkers, is that you never know if you're going to get something subtle like this or something just crazy. But we do know that the new gene is a codom and there is a super form.
Right.
And that is what we're unfortunately going to find in the baby that did not come out of the egg on his own. We got to take a look at it. And there he is. He was alive when you cut, but you can see that he's kind of deformed. He's got a really funky head there. But look at that pattern. He almost looks axanthic. So obviously the parents were not het for axanthic. So obviously this is not an axanthic. So we can kind of extrapolate that this is the super form of the new gene, which proves out the new gene as a codom. But man, it had to be the super.
Yeah, I would hope so, you know, that this would be a super, but you know, with underdeveloped babies too, it could be something that looks pretty extreme, and maybe it just hasn't been really got the whole color into it. But I hope to see a super form next year. If this baby in the egg that didn't come out and that passed away is actually what the super form would look like instead of just an underdeveloped baby, then I would hope to see something special in the eggs next year. And so we'll keep on continuing trying to do that.
Well, a lot of ball python breeding is trial and error, and well, this is a testament to that. So anyway, you had another clutch that hatched out, and you do think that you got some world's firsts in that clutch. So I want to show that clutch off here real quick as well.
So this clutch was a champagne Enchi asphalt to a banana cinnamon, but the banana cinnamon seems to have proven to be also yellow belly. So champagne Enchi asphalt to banana cinnamon yellow belly female. So these any males in this clutch will be female maker males. So you know, this looks like pretty close to probably a banana yellow belly.
Very orange, so yeah, I would suggest that there's some yellow belly influence to that.
And I think that we have a couple of those that are very similar. So I think those could be yellow belly or asphalt bananas. I think that's two males and a female, and real nice animals. I love the look of them. They're beautiful. They're really saturated colors.
That is just gorgeous. Wow, look at those oranges just pop on those.
So what's kind of fun is to throw this one on top. So there's that argument, or maybe just kind of speculation around Enchi and cinnamon being supers or allelic to make a super form, and so that's actually a Enchi cinnamon banana or coral glow, and that is a male female maker, and it's actually possible that it would have yellow belly or asphalt in that.
But yeah, you can definitely see the cinnamon influence in that snake.
It's like a nice sunburn.
Right. Alright, so there's that pile of beauties that came out of that clutch, but there's the ones I really want to check out.
So actually this one here, I believe, is a cinnamon banana champagne. It has a nice ringer on it here.
Banana cinnamon champagne.
And it's possible that this could carry asphalt or yellow belly, and with the pairing at hand. It has these awesome black eyes and a really cool head.
Wow. I love the muted purple colors in this. And I really think that champagne is such an underrated gene.
So here we have really what enticed everybody to think that there was yellow belly in this pairing was this animal here. And what the community believes is that this could be the banana champagne freeway.
And if so, that's a world's first.
That would be.
Looking at it, I'm tending to agree.
And then this one is interesting because I really don't know if this is a freeway or if this is a banana champagne Enchi asphalt or yellow belly. But when I look at this other animal and I look at Enchi and how it involves pattern, I believe that could be a freeway in itself as well.
Well, if you've ever seen an Enchi champagne, Enchi puts that pattern into the champagne, so it really does look like there is an Enchi influence in that snake.
So last year I produced the world's first pastel Enchi champagne freeway. This is kind of how she is grown, and it's nice to compare next to this clutch with banana involved.
That is just an amazing clutch of snakes right there. So in one video, in one afternoon over here, we have seen the trials and the tribulations and the upsets and the just wow factor of breeding ball pythons. This is exactly what ball python breeding is all about.
It is, and you know, it really depends on what you really feel that you want to produce, and how I feel about it is we have a lot of questions that deserve answers, and I'd like to really work on those as well. And I think that it's important to say that when you are proving out new genetics or anything like that, and you do have a new gene, you really want to prove that out and really understand what that single gene looks like before you start to promote it or do anything of sorts. Just because you don't want to, you know, have so much work and time and effort that goes into what you do to produce these animals, but you don't want to put that on somebody else's shoulders that expects something higher, and they don't get what they expect after 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years of work and effort. And so really I think that bringing the community closer, it really comes down to having that camaraderie and the respect to do the work that you need to do before you release any of these projects. So nothing that I'm doing here will be released until I've really figured out what these genes are doing, what the single gene looks like on its own, and what it looks like in simple combo.
So rattlers, again, ball python breeding is not at all an exact science. There is a lot of trial and error to it, as we have just seen in this video. But anyway, guys, like this video and share this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about these world's firsts over here at Hetty Herps. And until the next reptile adventure from wherever that may take me, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.